Section 7.2.21-T. We want to find the value of z subscript alpha, where alpha is equal to 0.25. So basically what we're looking for is z with a subscript of 0.25. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, what this means is, and whenever you see it in this form, is that the notation z subscript alpha or z sub alpha is the z-score such that the area under the standard normal curve to the right of z alpha is alpha. So therefore 0.25 represents the area to the right. So we want to make sure we know how to draw this picture so that we can identify where that area is located. So we know that our mean is 0. Okay, and what we're looking for is this z-score here. So what is the value of z here? Where this area represents 0.25. And so now in order to find that z-score, what we need is what is the area to the left of this z-score? Well, how can we determine that? Well, in order to find that area, we need to take the value of 1, and then we're going to subtract the area to the right, which is 0.25. And when we subtract that, we get an area of 0.75. And so now what we want to do is we want to locate on the table where is 0.0500. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're looking for 0.7500. So let's see here, 7.7500 is in between those two values. So let's take a look here. So we have 0.7486 and 0.7517. So let's go ahead and copy those. Okay, so that we know that 0.7500 falls in between them. We want to determine which area are we going to pick the one that's closest to that 0.7500. So the difference between 0.7500 and 0.7486 is 0.0014, and the difference between those two is 0.0017. So therefore we're going to use that area so we can determine what is the value of z. So let's go back and we're going to look at that area and let's highlight what we're looking for. So we know that it's going to be 0.67. So therefore that's going to represent our z-score. So the z-score is 0.67. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this using the TI-84 calculator. So if we want to find the TI-84 calculator, then what do we need to use? So we're going to use the formula INV norm with the area and then mu and then the standard deviation. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to find the z-score with the area that's to the left. So since we know it's 1.25, when we want to find that z-score, it's going to be INV norm. Okay, now since we want to find it to the left, we need to take 1 and subtract the area to the right, which is 0.25, with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. Second distribution, we're going to go to INV norm. We're going to put in 1 minus 0.25, or we can use the 0.75. And then the mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1, and then you can see that we get the following for our result. So if we round up to 2 decimal places, then we get a z-score of 0.67. Okay, so how are we going to figure that out? Using StatCrunch. So let's open up StatCrunch. So we're going to go to Stat, Calculators, and then Normal. Okay, and then what we want to do is, okay, we know that we're looking for the area where it's greater than 0.25. So we know our mean is 0, we know our standard deviation is 1, and we want to find out where it's greater than. So we're going to put our area in there of 0.25. And then we're going to select Compute. And you can see here what we get. We get the value of 0.67 as our z-score. So again, that is one way you can see how the picture tells us that this z-score is now 0.67.